Infection after chest infection, her little lungs desperately trying to suck in enough air to stay alive. They thought they were going to lose her when pneumonia struck, but miraculously, Wren came through it, even though Alan didn't. After that, Wren got better and stayed better too, as if the universe decided to stop giving her a hard time. Lowri likes to think that Alan had a hand in that though, as if, when he died, a tiny spark of him somehow found its way into his daughter. Now, Wren is small and mighty and fearless, and Lowri wishes she was more like her. Jess is quiet for a moment. "Lowri, you know you don't have to go, don't you?" she says. "Just because Susan declared it ought to be doesn't mean there are no other options. I'm sure we can think of something." Jess's feelings about Lowri's sister are more or less the same as hers, but they both know they've exhausted all other possibilities, just as they both know Jess would give anything to have Lowri stay. Lowri feels the same, but this really is for the best. She can't pay for this house any longer, however much she pretends she can, and it's time she moved on, emotionally as well as physically. "It's not all bad," Lowri replies, giving a weak smile. "I'll be getting the Belfast sink I've always wanted." It sounds better than it is. It's a cracked and very old sink in a tiny cottage 3 doors down from Lowri's sister, which Susan and her husband Gary have owned for years. They'd rented it out for the past 10 to a lovely lady with 7 cats, and to say the place needs cleaning is somewhat of an understatement. But if Lowri helps them tidy it up a bit, she can have it for free, and it's really an offer she can't refuse. Lowri looks down at the packet of biscuits she's still clutching and lifts her chin a little. No more melancholia, she promised herself. An hour later, they're already sidetracked, hijacked by an old shoebox full of stuff that Alan had kept from his childhood. Lowri hadn't wanted to open it, saying it was just rubbish, but Jess insisted. She isn't going to let Lowri off with a thing. Now, they're rolling around laughing at photos showing the series of awful haircuts Alan had as a child. Lowri takes one of the pictures, peering at the grainy image of the boy who'd grown into the man she fell in love with. She's never seen it before, and it suddenly strikes her how few photos she's seen of this period of his life. How little, in fact, she knows about any of his early life. She knew there'd been a divorce. His dad did the dirty with another woman, and it cleaved the family in 2. Alan never liked to talk about it much, and Lowri respected this. His past wasn't a part of their present, and that was that. Now, though, she's wondering about the family who lost a son, his mother the only representative at the funeral, a woman Lowri had never met before. Her thoughts are interrupted by another peal of laughter from Jess. "Hey, look at this one! And we thought the haircuts were criminal." She passes Lowri the photo. Alan must have been in his early teens, dressed for a party or disco, perhaps a family event, in a truly appalling shirt and baggy jeans with silver high-top sneakers. Funny, he always had a thing about shoes. "He never quite got the fashion thing, did he?" Lowri says, laughing. But then he was so unbelievably attractive she forgave him his habit of pairing random items of clothing. It's been good to laugh, but even as Lowri thinks it, she can feel the threat of tears, just as she always does when she's filled with thoughts of him. She guesses it's always going to be this way. Happy memories bringing home all that will never be again. She points at the box which sits on the floor between her and Jess. "What else is in there?" she asks, in an effort to distract herself. They're nearing the bottom of the box now. "Looks like old play programmes. There's one here for an Inspector Coles from Bristol Uni. Is that where his hobby started?" Lowri nods. Alan was roped into the Dramatic Society by a friend, got bitten by the bug, and the rest, as they say, is history. She'd met Alan a couple of years after he graduated. By then, he'd joined another amateur dramatic association in the small Welsh town where Lowri lived with her parents. Her mum had dragged her along to see the latest production.